If your back pain keeps coming back, I want you to stop blaming your MRI for a minute because chronic low back pain is almost never caused by one single structure. It's usually a combination of movements, habits, strength, nervous system sensitivity, stress, recovery, and a few other factors that most people never hear about. Today, I'll show you why your pain keeps returning and what you can actually do about it. Let's dive in. By the way, I'm Dr. Nikki. I'm a physical therapist with over 20 years experience, and I specialize in helping active women get back to lifting, hiking, traveling, and the activities that they love without babying their back. So let's get clear on what chronic even means because it gets thrown around a lot. Chronic low back pain just means that it's been sticking around for 3 months or longer. That's it. It doesn't mean something is broken. It doesn't mean there's permanent damage. It just means the pain has outlasted the normal healing window for tissue, which is usually somewhere around 6 to 12 weeks. And that distinction matters more than almost anything else in this video because once pain becomes chronic, it stops becoming a simple damage signal and starts being something a lot more complicated. Here's why this matters. If you believe your back pain is caused by one specific structure, a disc, a joint, a misalignment, you're going to spend years chasing that one thing. You'll get told what's wrong with your spine, and you'll start moving like you're made of glass. I've had clients walked into my clinic who stopped deadlifting, stopped hiking, stopped picking up their own kids off the floor, simply because someone showed them a scan and used the word degeneration. And that fear does more damage to their life than the actual finding on their image ever did. So let's actually look at the proof because this isn't just an opinion. Researchers scanned the spines of people who had zero back pain, no history of it at all. And 64% of them had a disc abnormality show up right there in the MRI. A bulge, a protrusion, or an extrusion. People who felt completely fine walking around every day with abnormal findings on their scan. There's also another study published in the Journal of Spine that pulled together dozens of studies looking at disc bulges, nerve compression, disc degeneration, and the conclusion was that none of these findings individually reliably predict who's in pain and who isn't in pain. So your MRI can show a bulge and you can feel great, or your MRI can look completely clean and you can be in agony. That gap right there is the whole reason we need a different model. The different model is called the Biopsychosocial Model, and it's what current research on chronic pain actually points to. And it shows that pain isn't just a structural issue. It's the result of an interaction between your physical body, your nervous system, and your life circumstances. So let's break that down into what that actually looks like day to day. First, there's movement. If your hips and your thoracic spine are stiff, your low back ends up compensating for ranges of motion it was never designed to handle. Second, there's strength. If your core can't stabilize your spine in multiple directions, not just forward and backwards, but also in rotation and side bending, your low back takes on a load it shouldn't have to carry alone. Third, and this is the one most people never really hear about, that's your nervous system. Chronic pain can become a sensitized alarm system, one that keeps firing even if that tissue has healed. It's kind of like a car alarm that goes off from a gust of the wind instead of an actual break-in. Fourth, there's stress and sleep. Poor recovery and chronic stress raise inflammation and lower your pain threshold. So the exact same movement can hurt more on a bad week than a good week. And fifth is the fear of movement itself. When you avoid bending, lifting, or twisting because you're scared of hurting your back again, you actually weaken the exact tissues and patterns you need to protect it. Now, if you're finding this helpful, that's exactly why I put this video together, so go ahead and hit that like button. It genuinely helps this information reach more people who are stuck chasing the wrong explanation for their pain. So what do you actually do with all of this? You stop asking, what's wrong with my spine? And you start asking, what does my body need to be capable again? That's a completely different question. And it leads to a completely different plan. Instead of chasing a diagnosis, you build hip mobility so your low back isn't compensating. You build multi-directional core stability so your spine has real support in every direction not just front to back. You build thoracic mobility, so your upper back can rotate instead of forcing that rotation through your lumbar spine. You work on regulating your nervous system through breathing, through graded exposure to movement, through actually trusting your body again so the alarm system calms down instead of staying on this high alert. This is the exact kind of thing that's hard to figure out on your own from a video because everyone's starting point is different. Some of you need more mobility work first. Some of you need to rebuild strength and confidence before you touch a barbell again. If you want a clear picture of where you're actually stuck and what your specific plan should look like, book a free discovery call using the link in the description. We'll talk through your history, your goals, whether that's going back to lifting, hiking, or just picking things up off the floor without bracing for pain, and figure out what your body actually needs. So here's what I want you to walk away with. Your back pain is not a life sentence, and it's very rarely about one single structure that needs to be fixed. It's about rebuilding capacity across movement, strength, and your nervous system so your body can trust itself again. And if you want to go deeper on one piece of that puzzle, I actually made a video about breaking down exactly how the nervous system works, and you can check that out by clicking right here.